Good morning students, welcome to All for C Learning. Students, yesterday we discussed some problems on vertical projected body. Now I have two interesting problems here. One is the body projected vertically upwards with the velocity u. In the last second of its upward journey, it travels a distance equal to h. In generally the body moves in vertically upward direction, so it travels a distance h in upward direction. Another body is projected vertically upwards with the velocity 2u. The second body projected vertically upwards with the velocity 2u. Find the distance traveled by the body in the last second of its upward journey. This is the question. To solve this question, we already know in case of body projected vertically upwards, time taken by the upward journey is equal to time taken by the downward journey. And at every moment, for example, this is the upward projected body with the initial velocity u. It travels like this and it reaches the ground in vertically downwards with the same velocity. So at every 1 second, for example, if I consider at the initial moment, distance traveled by the body in first 1 second is equal to distance traveled by the body in the last 1 second. At the same time, distance traveled by the body in the second is equal to distance traveled by the body in the last but 1th second. Similarly, this body travels upwards. Suppose this is the last second. This is h. This is the last second. How to calculate this second? We don't know about the velocity of the body at this point. So instead of this, I am considering first second of the downward journey. Why? Because distance traveled by the body in the last second of its upward journey is equal to distance traveled by the body in the first second of its downward journey. That is why I am considering instead of this. Why? Because I don't know the velocity at the beginning of the last 1 second of the upward journey. That is why I am considering first 1 second of the downward journey, because its initial velocity here is 0. It travels a distance, same h. If I consider first body, distance traveled in the first second of downward journey is I can solve this with the help of s is equal to half gt square. Why? Because it is falling freely. So I am using this distance h is equal to half z t square. Here my t is 1 second. Then this h is half g. That is simply z by 2. This is the distance traveled in the first second of the downward journey. The distance is equal to last second of its upward journey. What is my next part of the question? If another body is projected vertically upwards with a velocity 2u, if I consider the second body also in the last second of its upward journey is obtained by taking first second of the downward journey. So for second body also, this h, if I take it as some capital H, that capital H is equal to again half z t square and t is equal to 1 second. Then you will get capital H is equal to g by 2. So we can calculate this h as g by 2. So on using that equation, I can calculate capital H is equal to small h. Once again I am repeating, this body is vertically projected upwards with some initial velocity u. I don't know the velocity in the last second of its, at the beginning of last 1 second of the upward journey. Instead of that, I am considering first 1 second of the downward journey. Why? Because here if you consider last 1 second of the upward journey, the distance is equal to distance travelled by the freely falling body in the first second of its downward journey. That is why first I calculated first body, this is half gt square. In this equation, initial velocity is not involved. In this equation, initial velocity is not involved. So this equation is independent of initial velocity. So I consider the second body also, that is also half gt square. Again, t is equal to 1 second. My capital H is equal to again g by 2. So I can conclude that capital H is equal to small h, and these two are equal to z by 2, and these two are equal to z by 2. So whatever be the initial velocity, the last second of its upward journey, every body travels a distance equal to g by 2 meters. Okay. Next, I am moving to second problem, which is similar to this one. A body projected vertically upwards with velocity u. Body projected vertically upwards with velocity u. In the last second of its journey, this is not the last second of its upward journey, this is the last second of its journey. Last second of its journey, it covers a distance is equal to h. If another body is projected vertically upwards with velocity 2u, find the distance travelled by the body in the last second of its journey. Suppose if I consider the body, first body like this is initial velocity. This body has initial velocity u and reaches some maximum height, and then it falls down. It reaches ground with velocity u. We already know that. Suppose it started here. The last 1 second of its journey means if this body travels vertically upwards and reaches maximum height and then falls. Suppose this is last 1 second. Is the height h. Is the time taken by the body in the last 1 second of its upward journey. If you consider this last 1 second, it is difficult to calculate because I don't know the velocity at this point, because that is the initial velocity for that journey. Instead of that, I am considering first 1 second of its upward journey. Last 1 second of its journey or last 1 second of its downward journey is equal to distance travelled by the body in the first second of its upward journey. So it is also h. So for this, I am considering for first body, distance travelled by the body, distance travelled by body in the first second of upward journey is equal to distance travelled by the body in the last second of journey. Last second of its journey. So if I consider that one, then I can calculate that distance very easily. So that distance is h. So that h is obtained by taking h is equal to ut minus of gt square. Why? Because body projected vertically upwards. Here t is equal to 1 second. So then my h is u into 1 minus of g into 1 square. This h is equal to u minus g by 2. What happened to this distance in case of second body? For second body, similarly I can calculate for second body. For second body, again I am considering h as some capital H. That capital H is equal to initial velocity of the second body is 2u. Initial velocity of the second body is 2u. So I can write 2u into time 1 second minus half g into 1 square. Half g into 1 square. So this capital H is 2u minus g by 2. 2u minus g by 2. From 1 I can write u as, or u can be written, they give u and h So I have to express capital H in terms of U and G. So I can substitute this U as U is equal to H plus G by 2. So 2 times of H plus Z by 2 minus Z by 2. So this H is, I can write it as 2H plus G minus G by 2. So this H is H plus G by 2. This is the answer. This is the distance travelled by the body. This is 2H plus G by 2. So if body projected with the upward direction with a double velocity, distance travelled by the body is more than double, that is 2H plus G by 2. Okay, students? Okay, sir. Okay, students, present I have one more problem here, that is a rocket fired vertically upwards with the acceleration A. After time t, fuel gets exhausted. Find the maximum height reached by the rocket. This is the problem. Rocket fired vertically upwards. Suppose this is my rocket. This rocket is fired vertically upwards with some acceleration A. It is fired at a t is equal to 0 seconds. This rocket accelerates for some time. Thereafter, its fuel gets exhausted, fuel is completed. Then suppose it reaches some height h. Here. Due to this acceleration, this rocket attains some velocity. Let it be some v. Rocket attains some velocity. Let it be some v. After that, this fuel gets exhausted, so there is no acceleration. So because of that, this rocket behaves like a vertical projected body and travels some height and then falls back to ground. This is the behavior of the rocket. So first of all, we have to calculate maximum height reached by the rocket. Actually, rocket with the fuel, rocket travels a height h. Thereafter, it travels another height. This is called, let it be some h. Suppose this is capital H. What is the maximum height reached by the rocket? That is small h plus capital H. We have to calculate those two quantities and add those, we can get the maximum height. For that, first calculate S is equal to, for this journey, I am calling this as some point A, this is B. For AB journey, if you consider acceleration is A, displacement is h, or time is t. So I can use S is equal to ut plus half a t square. Body is traveling vertically upwards, don't use ut minus half gt square. Why? Because acceleration in the upward direction. So this is h is equal to u, initial velocity u into t, plus rocket starts from rest generally, so you can take it as 0 into t plus half a t square. This is the height traveled by the rocket. What is the velocity of the rocket at this point? This velocity v is u plus at. Initial velocity here it is 0, so v is at. We have two quantities, one is h, another one v. The h is half gt square. Half at square. So this is our first equation and this is our second equation. With these two, what is the height? How to calculate this capital H? With this velocity v, this body behaves like a vertical projected body. We already know maximum height of the vertical projected body. The maximum height of the vertical projected body is capital H. That capital H is obtained by taking u square by 2g if initial velocity is u. But in our case, initial velocity is v. You can write it as v square by 2g. So this capital H is actually our v is at from equation 1. So it is at whole square by 2g. From these two, I am calling this equation number 3. If I can add this 2 and 3, I adding 2 and 3, I can get maximum height reached by the rocket. So H max or maximum height reached by the rocket is small h plus capital H, right? Small h is half at square and this capital H is at whole square by 2g. Why? Because here I am using g because body traveling under gravity, but with the fuel it do not travel under gravity, it accelerates with acceleration. So based on this you can solve the problem very easily. Next students, I am shifting to our next case, that is case 4. This case 4 is a vertically projected body from top of a tower, or body projected vertically upwards from top of a tower. So I am considering here a body projected vertically upwards with initial velocity u at some time t equal to 0. It travels vertically upwards from some height h, thereafter it falls down. Let our tower height is some h. Let's be the tower height. What are the basic equations can be used in this case? Or equations of motion can be changed in this case. Here I can write u as positive, and s, I don't know s whether positive or negative. Body travels in the upward direction, s is positive. If body travels in the downward direction, or s is negative. Okay, but the gravity is always downwards. Here gravity is vertically downwards. I already mentioned initially body traveling direction is taken as a positive generally. So initially this body traveling upward direction, so you have to consider this as positive and downward direction as a negative. So my acceleration is minus g, because g is acting in downward direction. Next I can use first equation, v is equal to u plus at as v is equal to u minus gt in case of body projected vertically upwards from top of tower. Similarly, I can use s is equal to ut plus half at square as this s is equal to ut minus half gt square. There is no difference between normal projected body and vertical projected body except its displacement. Whether if it is traveling in the downward direction, that s will be negative, but if it is traveling in the upward direction, that s will be positive. So that depends on the situation. Okay. Next, our third equation. This is my first equation and this is my second equation. I am using third equation, that is v square minus u square is equal to 2as. Here our u is positive, so I can write it as v square minus u square is equal to minus 2gs. So I am taking this to right side, you can get v square is equal to v square minus 2gs, and Sn, this is u minus g into, or u plus a into n minus half. This is the basic equation. I am changing this as Sn is equal to u minus g into n minus half. So here I want to calculate time of flight of this vertically projected body from top of tower. So time taken by the body, this is my subheading, time taken by body to reach the ground, here it is. How to calculate the time? Before calculating time, first calculate velocity of the body at the bottom of the tower. So let it be some v, velocity of the body at the bottom. So velocity at bottom this v is v square minus u square is equal to minus 2gs. That can be written as v square is equal to u square minus 2gs. V square is equal to u square minus 2gs. At bottom our s is equal to minus h. So you can write it as v square is equal to u square minus 2g times of minus h. So you can write it as v square equal to u square plus 2gh, or you can write it as v equal to plus or minus under root u square plus 2gh. Here students, you have to consider negative sign, not positive sign. Why? Because body's velocity in vertically downward direction. Body's velocity in vertical downward direction. So here v is minus under root u square plus 2gh. This is the correct equation. This is the correct equation. Based on this, you can calculate the time. I want to calculate time taken by the body to reach the ground. To calculate this, I am using v equal to u plus at or first equation. So if I know the velocity, then I can use v equal to u plus a. U plus in v equal to u plus at is changed as u minus gt in our case. So this is the time. So our v is minus under root u square plus 2gh. U square plus 2gh, that is equal to u minus gt. U minus gt. You can calculate this time as t is equal to, or gt is equal to u plus under root u square plus 2gh. U square plus 2gh. From that, we can calculate time. This time as u plus under root u square plus 2gh by g. This is the time of flight for body projected vertically upwards from top of the tower. This is the time of flight for body projected vertically upwards from top of the tower. Here I derived the basic equations. Basic equations do not change. They are similar to vertically upward projected body. But the difference is here the displacement in case of body projected vertically upwards, body travels in negative direction also. Body travels in negative direction also. That is why I am considering this velocity as a negative. So I am substituting this velocity, I can get a time or time of flight. The time of flight is u plus under root u square plus 2gh by g. Students, I have one example here. This is three bodies are projected as shown in figure from top of tower of height h. Their time of flights are t1, t2, t3 respectively. Find the relation between t1, t2 and t3. This is the question. These are the three bodies given in the question. This body, first body A, this body A is projected vertically upwards from top of tower. We already calculated the time of flight for a body projected vertically upwards from top of tower. So clearly we can write T1. This T1 is u plus under root u square plus 2gh by g. This is calculated in the beginning of this session, right? Now this body is projected vertically downwards. Now I want to find this time T2. To calculate this time, this is the tower. It is of height h. Body projected here vertically downwards with some initial velocity u. Here it reaches bottom with velocity v. First I want to calculate velocity at bottom. So for velocity at bottom, I want to use v equal to v square minus u square equal to 2as. V square minus u square is equal to 2gh here. Why? Because this downward direction is positive in our case. Then you can calculate this v. This v is u square plus 2gh or v square equal to. You can write v as plus or minus under root u square plus 2gh. But here our v is plus under root u square plus 2gh. Why? Because body traveling in downward direction and velocity downward direction is taken as a positive. So this velocity is positive. Next I am using this equation in our v is equal to u plus at. U plus at, or it is traveling downwards, you can write it as gt. This t is t2. This t is t2. So on substituting this velocity, you can get u square plus 2gh that is equal to u plus gt2. So gt2 can be written as under root u square plus 2gh minus u. This time t2 can be written as under root u square plus 2gh minus u whole by g. This is the time t2. What is t3? T3, in case of T3, body released from rest. So you can write it T3 as under root 2h by g. Under root 2h by g. Now we have to relate this time t1 and time t2 and this time t3. We have to relate these three. To relate those three quantities, first I want to multiply 1 and 2. Why? Because on multiplying these two, I can eliminate this u square term. Then I can relate this t3 with a h. For that, first of all, we have to multiply 1 and 3, 1 and 2. So on multiplying 1 and 2, you can get t1 into t2. This t1 into t2 is, this is, you can write under root u square plus 2gh plus u by z into, this is u square plus 2gh minus u by z, minus u by z. And multiplying these two, t1 into t2, t1 into t2, this term on multiplying you will get, this is like a plus b into a minus b. So you will get a square minus b square, that is u square plus 2gh minus u into u square by z. This u square term gets cancelled. Then you can get t1 into t2, that is 2gh by g. Again g gets cancelled. Sorry, g into g you will get g square. One g gets cancelled. Another g will be there. So we already know this t3 is under root 2h by z. So this is like a t3 square. So then you will get t1 into t2 is equal to t3 square, or t3 is root t1 into t2. This is one important problem regarding body projected vertically upwards from top of the tower. Okay students, based on vertical projected body from top of tower, I have one more example, or example 2. That is, a balloon rises vertically, rises upwards with acceleration g by 8 from rest. G by 8 from rest. After 8 seconds, the stone is dropped from the balloon. Find the time taken by the stone, time taken by stone to reach the ground. This is the question. We have to solve this question. So a balloon is rising vertically upwards with acceleration g by 8. After 8 seconds, a stone is dropped from the balloon. What is the behavior of the stone? This dropped stone. For suppose this is my hand. My hand is like a balloon. It is rising upwards. A stone is dropped from this. It is the behavior of the stone. So, right, I am taking a small diagram. Suppose this is the balloon. This is the balloon. It is rising upwards with acceleration g by 8. After some time, 8 seconds. Suppose here it is equal to 0. Suppose this is the situation. It is t equal to 8 seconds. At this time, a stone is dropped. Here, don't confuse with the word dropped. Stone is dropped, even though the balloon is rising with some velocity. So, suppose balloon is rising with some velocity v. Due to inertia, which is our next, which is learned in our next chapter. What is inertia? Inertia means as this balloon rises with the stone also attains the same velocity. Why? Because both are moving in the same direction. that is why the stone also have same velocity v. The stone also have velocity v. As the balloon rises to some extent, as the stone dropped, it not behaves like a freely falling body. It behaves like a vertically projected body. Why? Because the stone has velocity of the balloon. So with this velocity, it travels vertically upwards and then falls to ground. This is the behavior of the stone. As the stone dropped from the balloon, it moves upwards with the velocity of balloon to some extent and then it falls to ground. This is the behavior of the stone. Now I want to find what is the height at which this stone is dropped. Let it be some h. First of all, I want to find the height and the velocity of the balloon. So velocity of the balloon is v is equal to u plus at. I am using this equation. So or v, u, it is released from rest, so you can use 0 plus acceleration c by 8. My time at t is equal to 8 seconds. It is 8 seconds, they are mentioned here. So this is 8, this 8 gets cancelled. This velocity will be 10 meter per second. And g, it doesn't mean 10 meter per second square. It is velocity, so its units are 10 meter per second. So as the balloon moving upwards, the stone also possesses same 10 meter per second. What is the height of the balloon? Height of balloon. This h is obtained by using s is equal to ut plus of at square. This s is our h. H is equal to u0 plus half a z by 8 into time 8 square. 1 8 gets cancelled here. So 2 gets cancelled. So this 2 1s, 2 4s. This h is 4g. H is 4g. So height of the balloon at which stone is dropped is 4g. Next, I want to discuss about the stone. This stone has initial velocity and height. So initial velocity of the stone, is v is equal to, I already calculated this initial velocity is 10 meter per second, and this g4g, this height is 4 into 10, that is 40 meters. So height of the balloon is 40 meters. Based on this, I want to calculate the time of flight. How to calculate this time of flight? We already have a formula to calculate the time of flight, that is t is equal to u. What is the time of flight? T is equal to u plus under root u square plus 2gh by z. U square plus 2gh by g. Here we have, instead of v, we have u. So this t is, this is 10. Here v is our u. So this is 10 plus under root 10 square plus 2 into 10 into g. H is 40 meters by g 10. So this time of flight is 10 plus this is 100 plus this is 800 by 10 plus or minus. So plus. We already have this formula. So this time is 10 plus this root 900, that is 30 by 10. This is 4 seconds. Okay students, these are some problems. If you practice more problems, then you will get good knowledge on the vertical projected bodies and freely falling bodies. These are basic concepts for kinematics under uniform acceleration. Okay, practice more problems, you will get more grip. Okay, thank you.